Okay, good morning everyone. So for this time about our VR exception design project, we are going to using this software, the Simlab. And Simlab is a very easy using VR software which can allow you to create your VR scene, including education program or exception design, or probably just show your product design work in a VR environment. So here is the official website of the Simlab software. And the things you are going to download is this one, the Simlab Composer, and also the Simlab VR Viewer. Once you download this one, it can help you to create your VR scene, including import your model, reassign different material, and also do some simple interaction design. And for VR Viewer, this is the software to help you connect your laptop and your VR device. And if your laptop is not powerful enough, you can also using the VR Viewer to do the navigation just inside your laptop. So first, please go to here and this one, download these two software and install that on your laptop. Once you finish your installation, well, this is the interface of the Simlab. So I will close the welcome panel and let's take a look. So first, how to navigate inside Simlab. You can use your left mouse button to rotate your camera. And you can using your middle mouse button to do the pan. And also using your right mouse button to zoom in and zoom out. And also you can do that using your middle mouse button. Okay, so now let's take a look about the user interface design inside Simlab. First, we have to turn on our 3D scene so that we can use that one as an example. Here, Simlab provides you a lot of different examples, which can allow you to take a look about the final result, which made by Simlab. So I'd like to using, well, it's up to you. I can using some simple one, probably product environment 3. Okay, so here is the view, but for now, well, it seems like, well, it's out of control. So we have to choose in probably one product so that we can see that. Choosing the product, and you can choose in this button. Here is some assistant tool to help you to quickly locate and quickly import your object. So if you want to see this object, you can click this one on the left side browser, and then go to here, click this one, zoom to select it. So now as far as you can see, here is the selected object. And also I'd like to go to the, probably the inner object, right here. Okay, so here is the scene. Let's go to the interior and take a look. Probably something right here. This one. Okay, so let's zoom in. So as far as you can see, here is the interior. For now, probably doesn't have much things inside, but that's okay. Let's just use this one. So let's use this example to tell you guys what's the user interface design of Simlab. So as far as you can see, this is the Sim browser, or we usually call this one as outliner. So you can find all the objects inside this model scene through the Sim browser right here. And once you click, there will be a property panel come out. And for property panel, the default setting is about the object mode and also transform mode. So using transform mode, you can control the deformation and the position and all the geometry property right here. So, but sometimes it will change. For example, if you want to apply material, there will be material panel come out. And if you want to apply some actions, there will be action editor come out right here. So depends on different kind of objects and different kind of situations, the property panel will change. Alright, so now let's go to here. So this panel, well, it's a bit weird, but usually this panel will show up right here. This panel is about, it's just like a handle to help you to control your object. For example, if you want to move your object, you can use in this one. You can rotate, or you can scale up right here using universal scale. and scale up. And using Ctrl Z, and you can undo your operation. And click this button, you can copy your object. Okay. So now let's take a look about the upper part list. So right here, for sure, this is about file saving. So including create a new scene, open an old scene, save your file, save a new file, package your file, import, export, and also export as a PDF file. So all the things about the data storage is right here. And for moving, for sure, it's about move object to the ground and also another helping assisting tool which you can use inside Simlab. Create object. Inside Simlab, we can also create some simple object, including light. That's something for sure because we are going to light up your scene inside Simlab. Also, also we we have geometry shape right here, including some simple plane, box, sphere, and cylinder. And if you want to create text or maybe annotation, you can also do that kind of things right here using panel. And right here about the geometry, basically this one is about more like about a geometry modifier. So for example, if you want to explore your model or you want to merge your model, you can do these kind of simple actions inside Simlab. But I would suggest you, if you want to do a detailed modeling, including sculpting, or model the detail of your product, your environment, it's better to do that inside professional 3D software, something like Maya, 3ds Max, Blender, or Rhinoceros. So so that you can do some more detailed operation rather than using Simlab. Okay, so here material. Basically, we will using this one to control the UV map and the material setting. The scene state. Actually, this one is pretty important, but we will introduce this one later. Render. Inside Simlab, not only about the VR view. The VR view is instant rendering, so it will rendering all the time using a more simple way to do the rendering. But if you want to render a realistic environment, a realistic product scene, you can using the render button to do the render. Alright, so backing. Backing is something probably you never heard before, because for this semester we haven't told that one. Backing is about to put all the environment data to your model scene and render all this data into a texture. So for example, if you back in the light to this model and also back in the texture to this model, it will create a new texture for this box, and it could include the light, shadow, and all the reference data. Yeah, and just using a simple textures. And basically, it's in why we do this one because sometimes your laptop or maybe the loading of your laptop is too much, so it cannot do the instant calculation. So we need to back all this data into just a simple texture so it can save a lot of physical memory for your laptop, for your computer. So meanwhile accelerating the speed of your laptop. And 360 image, I think all of you know what that means. For VR effect and media, so basically it's about to create some visual effect and also create some special effect for your VR scene. Interaction, that's a very important one. Basically for interaction and also training builder, it's just like a graphic scripting tool inside Simlab. So using this one, you can create some simple interaction design inside Simlab. So actually, Simlab is just like a simple version of game engine. So you can do many things inside Simlab without coding, just using simple node editing and simple operation, and you can do some very complicated uh, interaction design. All right. So VR catalog, VR viewer, so that's about the VR setting, so we can introduce that later. So on the bottom panel, as far as you can see, here basically is about the resource of the Simlab. If you want to using some default model inside Simlab, it will provide you this kind of stuff, including some clothes, some furniture, some decorations, or even some material you can use. So you can uh, register an account inside Simlab official website and download all these resources from its official website. Usually, it will look better than your customized material. Animation and sequence and scene state. Well, again, it's about to make interaction design. So, for example, if you want to move a car and make the car running, you need to set the animation first and make the animation become a sequence. So, when you trigger, when you trick, or when you start to run the car, click the car and start to run the car, it will play the sequence. So, make the interaction happen. So basically, that's about how these two things can be used. Okay, so let's do a quick review. The scene browser is about the models you have inside this model scene. And the property, that's a customized property for every object. And for the upper part, including a save file, move, modification, and create, and also some interaction design function. You can find them here. And for the bottom menu, you can find the resource from the official website. And for animation, sequence, and scene state, it's more about the interaction design resource. Okay, so now if you want to see the VR view, how can we do that? So for now, we need to use in VR viewer. So if you haven't installed VR viewer, you need to install before we start this operation. So let's go to here, choosing show in viewer. And we can choose in desktop or choosing PC VR, or you can just using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to connect to your VR device. So usually we will use this one because right now we don't have VR device. So let's choose this one. And we have to set up a start position first, which means the start position for the viewer. So let's choosing, and this guy is the start position. That's your character inside this VR thing. If it's okay for you, just click this button, and now it will start to exporting the geometry to VR viewer. Okay, so as far as I can see, the light actually is pretty smooth. I think for this one, it already baked the material on the geometry, so it looks pretty good. Alright, so you can use in your WASD to do the movement. And if you want to jump, you can press your spacebar to jump. And using your mouse button to navigate. And if you click your right mouse button, if there is something you can grab, well, things will show up. Or you can use your right mouse button to show up the handle, the hand, the gloves, which is for you to grab your object. And using your middle mouse button, there will be a panel come out, and you can choose in different kind of VR navigating mode. For example, right now we can fly, so you can go to the top. You are not restricted by the gravity anymore. Okay, so that's about the viewer. Viewer basically is pretty simple, so there's nothing for me to introduce to you. So for the next part, let's start to do our first VR scene. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.